All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah HaKodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim in bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Hey, now I had to do a land back off this video that the elder Manata Zakba, did. Hey, cause Jake is just bugging out, man, and it's funny. But it's not, it's funny in a way because we understand that Jake only left the world to enter into the world. It's not like he left the truth to enter into the world. It's the Christian pastor, man. So I'm gonna let the video play and then I'm gonna go into it. Hey, so here it is, he's quoting scriptures, and as the elder brought out, hey, Jake just don't understand the breakdowns to what he's saying, because everything that he mentioned that he has a gripe with, which are all stumbling blocks, ultimately, he just doesn't have the eyes to see nor ears to hear, man, because they're not complicated issues or complicated mysteries, man, but the Lord just didn't give him that understanding, right? And as this brother said here in the comments, he said, Jake is hurt. Hey, the Most High Yahweh shall smite thee with madness. Yeah, and this nigga foaming out the mouth, We got the whites all in the corner of the mouth and everything, man. Watch, let's keep going. And that's enough. Let's get a couple precepts. Let's attack the demon, man. Right? It's Matthew 12 and 36. Hey, because Jake seemed to forget. And on top of that, man, we understand, Isaiah 45 and 7. The Lord tells you he creates darkness. He creates peace, right? He creates evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, they do all those things, man. Right? 1 Samuel tells us what? The Lord killeth and he maketh alive. He woundeth and he healeth. So these aren't hard topics to understand. Hey, but his incredulity, which is his unbelief. Hey, the Lord allows some demons to hop on this nigga. And now he's just completely bugged out, man. Which he was bugged out in Christianity. That's why he never understood the answers to the questions that he's posing now. But hey, so be it, man. We're not hurt, by him saying this. Because Jake just don't know. This is Matthew 12:36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account of, or account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. And Jake said it himself. I don't choose the God of the Bible. I choose the people of the world. Well, you're going to end up with a judgment with the same people of the world, man. You know, that don't hurt. You got to understand, man. Yahweh Shemel Shai already predestined everyone either to deliverance, and for Israelites, the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3 going to receive salvation. And then you have the 2/3 and the rest of the inhabitants, to get a thermonuclear destruction or another death by a plague or a scourge, right? This is just how it was written, man. Predestination is real. So the Lord allowed you to be in a Christian church and be a pastor, be on that pulpit and clap for the youth choir after they was done singing they beat the bullshit songs, man. He allowed you to host the holiday parties at the church, you know. He allowed you to have your choir days and all these different events up at while you was in the ministry, and be with the deacons and flirt with the and flirt with the sisters of the church. He allowed you to do all that, man. Ultimately, to just take even that little to no understanding of who he was in the Christian church and just completely bug you out. See, a man like this has a great judgment headed for him. See, with him talking all these words against Yahweh Shemel Shai, the Lord can have him try to off himself and then still be alive, and have him suffer for excruciating pain for hours or days, weeks. The Lord can take the spirit out this man's body and put it back in it, and then still allow him to feel the pain. See, we're dealing with a power that's all seeing, all knowing, all doing, man. See, and he seems to forget it. He forgot that, right? But let's go into more precepts, because he clearly said he chose the world over the Lord, man. Well, let's see what the scriptures say about those that choose the world, you know, because he's mad that the Lord wants righteousness. That's ultimately what it is. Jake is pissed off that righteousness will be established on the earth and will be law soon, man. You know, they hate the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This 1 John 2:15. And it reads, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So, the love of Yahweh Shemel Shai is not in this man. And we're okay with that, man. He wasn't a believer from the beginning, right? It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai abideth forever. Right? So this dude is ultimately and we read in matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to that. Right, when we read in the 18th verse, it says, little children, it is the last time. And as ye have heard that the anti-anointed, right, the anti-Messiah shall come, even now are they many anti-anointeds, man, whereby we know that it is the last time. And this dude himself is an anti-Messiah, man. He's against Yahweh Shai and Yahweh, right? So let's let him put his foot in his mouth more. Because in the day of his judgment, the Lord is going to allow this nigga's video to replay in his mind over and over and over. See, because the scriptures clearly tell us that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just grab it. Right? See, because Jake have no clue what's coming, man. They have no clue. They have no clue. It's Philippians 2:10, and it reads, matter of fact, I'm going to start here at 9. Wherefore Yahweh also hath highly exalted him, speaking of Yahweh Shai, and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahweh Shai, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is Lord, and the glory of Yahweh the Father, right? So when the Lord shows forth his true power, when Yahweh Shai returns, when Yahweh sends Yahweh Shai back upon the earth, you know, and these people are going to see the power in which Yahweh Shai comes back with. All that scoffing, all that gainsaying, It goes out the window, and then they're just going to understand that they're through. Hey, he knows he's through now. You know? His mind is gone. His mind is gone, man. But this is what happens. Hey, when you rebel against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? So that's 1 John 2 and 15. Matter of fact, I'm going to let him talk a little bit more.
So here's what I want to say. First of all, it's only beautiful people out there.
Beautiful people.
Wasn't born in no sin, shaped in no iniquity, with some death sentence on you, simply because you were born.
Hey, Jake didn't allow the Mo community to affect his spirit, man. To affect what he believed. You know? He's allowed the madness of this world to ultimately just fully take away his his Christian faith, man.
If a programmer developed a piece of software that had violence, we would think something was wrong with that developer if we saw them going crazy over the software and stomping and jumping up and down like saying, what's wrong with your software? What's wrong with you? You're the bird for this.
See, now, Jake, that's an easy topic in itself. Jake doesn't understand. Hey, when we go into the book of Hebrews, right? We understand the fault is with us. It's simple. The fault is with us. It's not that the commandments are off. It's not that following the script is off. No, we're faulted. Right? Matter of fact, let's grab that. All right, this Hebrews 8, and I'm gonna start here at 6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, speaking of Yahweh Shai, which was established upon better promises, right? For if that first covenant had been faultless, right, under the law, every time Jake sinned, they did what? They offered up a sacrifice unto the Levitical priest. The Levitical priest would sacrifice that animal, and the atonement of whatever sin that person brought would be basically Yahweh Shem Shai would acknowledge it, right? But we understand Jake started doing what? They started premeditating their sins, right? So the Lord changed it up because niggas are wicked, man, right? It says, then, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second, for finding fault with them, right? Because what? We're in these chains of darkness, right? Fighting the flesh, fighting for sin within that's why the scripture says in the book of Romans 8, the battle between the flesh and the spirit. Because here we are in the flesh. Hey, and Apostle Paul said himself, that which I hate, that do I. Right? So that's the whole conflict right there. The internal battle between a righteousness and wickedness. Right? But it says, for finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their minds, right? And write them in their hearts, right? And I will be to them a people. And I will be to them a God, a power, and they shall be to me a people, right? So he's going to take away our stony hearts and give us a heart of flesh, right? Which is a perfect spirit, which will never be able to go off. Because sin bringeth forth what? Death. Transgression of the law is sin. Sin brings forth death, right? We're not perfect in these bodies because we have to fight against the flesh and we lose, right? It's that simple. But he's bugging out over this because he just doesn't know. The Lord did not give him this understanding, right? And that's why it's serious that we continue in the things that we're taught, man. Hey, and pray that Yahweh Shem Shai keep the spirit on us, right? Psalm 51. Let's keep going. There it is. Let's grab this precept. It's coming from the book of Romans. Let not the what? No, Salaki, not Romans. Incredulity. Let not the incredulity. 2nd Esdras 15. I'm going to start here at the top. Behold, 2nd Esdras 15 at the top. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, right? The unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So he was a pastor, and, he probably had family members, that were, and I believe the elder said that he had a family member or somebody in a T community that basically spoke to him or something, and he got all emotional, and then he was uprooted out of Christianity, right? It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, right? The same people he's saying he's for, in the days of scourges, which is soon going to happen, these same people are going to be calling upon God for them to save them. And he is too. He's going to revert back to it, right? He's going to try to call on God. Oh, Lord, I was foolish. I apologize, right? Because in the midst of your comfort, you can talk as proudly and bold as you want. But as soon as the Lord puts some heat on your ass, you know what happens? They bow down. Because you're not a power. You're not a God. And you're not going to be able to control anything around you. And the Lord may just keep this dude into the nukes. Who knows? Who knows, man? Right? But we do know, this dude got a heavy judgment. He got a heavy judgment coming his way, man. But, oh well. Right? Now, instead of, being an advocate unto righteousness, this dude is being a straight up advocate for wickedness. So let's grab what the scriptures say about that. This is Proverbs 17:15. And it reads, it says, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination unto the Lord. So that's just what it is, man. I want to grab another precept. This is coming from the book of James 4. And 4, it says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of the Most High. And he's claiming that he's a friend with the world, man. So you're an enemy unto the Lord, man. You're an enemy unto him. Which means what? You have no shot. You have no shot, man. Unless the Lord put the spirit on you, to fully change, which, I think this dude is going, man. I think he's going. But this guy chooses the world, man. Foolish trying to fight against the Lord, trying to fight against Yahweh Shem Shai. And a lot of Jake are in that mind state right now. That's why the elder, a lot of his videos, come from Jake scoffing, gainsaying, talking mess about the truth. It's a lot of Jake Israelites who are coming up against their own maker. It's a lot of judgment. And this is why we understand this in the book of 1 Peter 4:17, right? This is why it makes so much sense, right? This 1 Peter 4:17, it says, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Shem Shai. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel? So I'm going to read 18. It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? And that's why it makes sense as to why the scriptures tell us, and you shall see 1,000 on thy left hand and 10,000 at thy right hand. Basically speaking of all the bodies in which the Lord is going to drop. It makes sense why it's so many, because we're just seeing the videos of the people who are being bold enough to put it on camera. But for every video of a person, bold enough to put it on camera, you have tens of thousands who are hearting it, who agree with them, who just aren't speaking up and recording it themselves. So it makes sense as to why so many Jake are going to be destroyed here in America, man. Because these are disciples of Satan, They're enemies of the cross. So when judgment befalls, the Lord it makes sense when you go into Ezekiel 9, man. And it speaks about those with the tawa versus the individuals without it. Because a lot of Jake have to be reset. And the Lord is going to do that through all these scourges, man. Whether it be famine, whether it be pestilence, whether it be race riots, whether it be newly created creatures and apparitions. Right? Yahweh Shem Shai is going to make sure that Jake feels this last ass whooping. He's going to ensure it, man. He's going to make sure that Jake is never going to rebel again. So this dude is just another person on the Lord's list to bring forth judgment to. And this is also why we have no sympathy, no remorse for a 2/3, man. Because these are the same niggas that persecute the prophets and are going to do it again. The scriptures talk about the great insurrection against those that fear the Lord, man. Right? So Jake is going to try to target us, man. But the Lord is going to allow so many miracles to happen. Even if we have to be a martyr, then so be it, man. But 2/3 are going to take the largest L, and then the everlasting shame and contempt in the kingdom, man. And good for Jake, because they need it, man. Whole head is sick. It's evident. So I just want to bring forth this lesson to the body. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Haracha HaKodash. And double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.